The oranges hit the pavement first, then the old woman's knees. The sound is wrong, not loud, just solid, the kind of sound that should not exist on a Tuesday afternoon. Reina Eze is halfway down the block when she hears the laughter, sharp, cruel, the kind of laughter that exists only to humiliate. She turns. A crowd has formed outside the grocery store. 50 people, maybe 60, all of them watching, none of them moving. In the center, an elderly Korean woman is on the ground. Her groceries are scattered around her, oranges rolling into the gutter, rice spilled across wet concrete. And standing over her, 3 men in expensive jackets, laughing like they have just heard the funniest joke of their lives. One of them kicks an orange toward her face. "Pick it up, grandmother," he says in Korean. Raina has been in Seoul long enough to understand the words. "Pick it up like the beggar you are." The old woman does not move. She is trembling. Her hands are pressed flat against the ground like she is trying to hold the earth together. Nobody helps her. 60 people stand in a circle and watch an old woman get humiliated, and not one of them steps forward. Not one of them says stop. Not one of them remembers that they have mothers too. Raina feels something hot rise in her chest. She has been in Seoul for 8 months. She works at a restaurant in Itaewon, 12-hour shifts, 6 days a week. She sends money home to her mother in Lagos every month. She keeps her head down, she stays out of trouble, she does not make noise. But this she cannot watch. She pushes through the crowd, people step aside, more from surprise than politeness. A black woman moving with purpose in a sea of people who have chosen to be still. She reaches the center. The 3 men look up. Their laughter dies. "What do you think you are doing?" she says. Her Korean is imperfect, accented. She does not care. The leader, tall, sharp-faced, maybe 30, looks at her like an insect that has wandered into his kitchen. "This is none of your business," he says. "Walk away." She is an old woman. Raina does not walk away. She is on the ground. You are laughing at her. That is my business. You don't know who I am. I don't care who you are. Silence. The crowd holds its breath. The old woman looks up at Raina with eyes full of something Raina cannot name. Shock, maybe, or the beginning of tears. The man steps closer, close enough that Raina can smell the alcohol on his breath, close enough that she can see the cruelty in his eyes. "You are a foreigner," he says slowly. "You do not understand how things work here. This woman owes my family money. She owes us respect. She has paid neither." He smiles. "So, I am collecting." By humiliating her in the street? By teaching her a lesson. Raina looks at the old woman, at her hands against the concrete, at the rice that cannot be gathered back. She looks back at him. "The only lesson here," she says quietly, "is that you are a small man who picks on people who cannot fight back." His hand moves fast, but Raina has seen this before, in Lagos, in the yard behind her uncle Emeka's house in Seoul when she was 14. Emeka taught her one thing that year: your mouth will always be faster than your feet, so your hands need to be faster than both. Her left forearm comes up, catches his wrist, redirects his momentum sideways. His palm grazes her cheek but finds no real purchase. He stumbles forward, surprised by resistance where he expected none. She doesn't wait. One punch, closed fist, short and compact, the way Emeka taught her. She catches him across the jaw, enough to send the message, not enough to start a war she cannot finish alone. He staggers, hand to his face, eyes going wide. The crowd gasps. One sound. 60 people. The street is completely silent. Raina stands with her feet planted, breathing controlled, heart hammering against her ribs. His wrist caught her on the redirect, enough to split the corner of her mouth. She tastes blood. She does not wipe it. She does not step back. "Is that all you have?" she says quietly. If this made your blood boil, you need to subscribe right now. Hit the like button, turn on notifications, because what happens next to Raina will change her entire life, and you do not want to miss a single second. He stares at her, his jaw working. His two companions have gone very still, reconsidering their involvement. He raises his hand again, this time with cold intention, with the focus of a man who has decided an audience witnessing his humiliation is worse than whatever comes next. A voice cuts through the crowd like a blade. Gong Min Sok. His hand drops. His face drains of color. The crowd parts. A woman walks through the gap, mid-40s, tailored black coat, face like carved stone. Behind her, two men in dark suits who move like shadows. Director Yo, Gong Min Sok stammers. I didn't know. You didn't know what? She stops in front of him. Not loud, devastating. That someone was watching, that humiliating Guk In Sok in a public street would have consequences? Guk In Sok. The name means nothing to Raina, but it means everything to everyone else. She watches Gong Min Sok move from white to gray, watches the crowd dissolve, people suddenly remembering urgent business elsewhere. She owed my father. Your father's debts go through proper channels, channels that go through me. Director Yo tilts her head. You have made a serious mistake tonight. The chairman will hear about this. Gong Min Sok says nothing. He turns, he walks, his companions follow. Within 30 seconds, the street is empty. Director Yo turns to Raina. Her eyes move across her face, the split lip, the steady hands, the planted feet. You defended her, she says. She was on the ground. No one else was moving. No, they weren't. A pause. What is your name? Reina Eze. Nigerian? Yes. Director Yo turns to the old woman and helps her to her feet, speaking Korean too quiet for Raina to follow. Guk In Sok is looking at Raina. Her eyes are wet, but underneath there is something else, something that looks like recognition. Thank you, she says in careful English. You did not have to do that. Someone had to, Raina says. The old woman takes Raina's hand, fingers cold, grip firm. You are hurt because of me. It's nothing, Raina says. It is not nothing. Her grip tightens. I will not forget this. I will not forget you. A black car appears at the curb. Director Yo guides Guk In Sok toward it. The two men collect the scattered groceries. The rice is lost, but the oranges they gather carefully. Within 2 minutes, the street is empty. Raina stands alone. Her cheek is swelling. Her lip has crusted at the corner. She has a shift starting in 15 minutes, and she is bleeding on a street in Mapo-gu with no idea what the name Guk In Sok means. The car window rolls down before it turns the corner. Director Yo looks back. Go home, Reina Eze. Clean your wound. Rest. Who is she? Raina calls. The old woman. Who is she? Director Yo almost smiles. The window rolls up. The car is gone. Raina looks down. One orange rests near her foot, bruised on one side, skin darkening, shape slightly wrong, but not broken, still whole. She picks it up, puts it in her pocket. She doesn't know why, she just does. She walks home bleeding, not knowing that within the hour a man she has never met will watch footage of this moment again and again, studying the woman who blocked a strike and answered with her own, who stood with blood on her lip and her feet still planted, and feels something shift in a place inside him he had decided was permanently sealed. She only knows her shift starts in 13 minutes, and Adana is going to have a great deal to say about her face. Raina's apartment is the size of a shipping container. 1 room, 1 window, a mattress on the floor and a hot plate in the corner, and a bathroom so small she has to step outside to change her mind. But it is hers. 8 months of 12-hour shifts, and it is hers. She stands in front of the cracked mirror and examines her face. The split lip has stopped bleeding, but her cheek is swelling, purple spreading under brown skin. By tomorrow, it will look worse. She pulls the orange from her pocket, bruised, intact, like her. She places it on the windowsill, a small monument to something she does not yet understand. Her phone buzzes. A message from her mother in Lagos. Have you eaten today? Don't forget to eat. I worry about you. Raina stares at the message. She thinks about what she would say if she told her mother the truth. Mama, I got into a fight with a rich man in the street because I defended an old woman. Mama, I punched him in the jaw and everyone watched. Mama, I think I made a powerful enemy today. She types back, I ate. Don't worry. I love you. She puts the phone down. She gets dressed for work. The restaurant is called Mama's Kitchen. Nigerian, one of 4 Nigerian restaurants in all of Seoul, owned by a woman named Adana, who moved here 15 years ago and refused to let anyone forget where she came from. Jollof rice, pepper soup, egusi, pounded yam, the smell of home in a foreign city. Raina arrives 20 minutes before her shift. Adana is in the kitchen stirring a pot of stew that fills the entire building with warmth. She looks up when Raina walks in. Her eyes go straight to the bruise. What happened to your face? Nothing. Raina. I said nothing. Adana sets down her spoon. She is 53 years old, built like a woman who has carried heavy things her whole life. You walk into my kitchen with your face looking like that, and you tell me nothing? She crosses her arms. Try again. Raina exhales. She tells her. The old woman, the men, the block, the punch, the mysterious Director Yo, and the black car that disappeared into traffic. When she finishes, Adana is very still. Guk in Suk, she says quietly. You know her? I know the name. Adana's voice has changed. Lower, careful. Everyone in certain circles knows the name. What circles? Circles you do not want to be in, Raina. Adana steps closer. The Guk family is not a normal family. They are not business people. They are not politicians. They are something else. What are they? They are the people who make business people and politicians do what they are told. She pauses. Guk Tae-sung is the chairman, the son. He controls the ports, the contracts, the invisible infrastructure that holds this city together. His mother, the woman you helped off the ground, is the most protected civilian in South Korea. Raina feels the floor shift beneath her feet. I didn't know. Of course you didn't know. If you knew, you would have kept walking like everyone else. Adana takes Raina's hands. Listen to me carefully. Whatever happens next, you remember you did the right thing, not the smart thing, the right thing. Those are not always the same. The dinner rush comes and goes. Raina works through it. Plates, orders, water glasses. She smiles at customers. She does not think about tailored coats or the name that made a confident man drain of color. She thinks about her grandmother, about Ezine, who carried everything for everyone until there was nothing left of the carrying to do. At 10 o'clock, the restaurant empties. Raina is wiping down the last table when the door opens. 2 men walk in. Black suits, black ties, faces arranged in careful neutrality. They are not looking at Adana. They are looking directly at Raina. Adana steps out from the kitchen. Her hand is behind her back. We are closed, Adana says. We are not here to eat. We are here for Reina Eze. Chairman Guk Tae-sung requests her presence. He wishes to thank her personally. Thank her, Adana repeats flatly. At 10 o'clock at night, with 2 men who look like they have buried bodies? Appearances can be deceiving. So can invitations. Raina steps forward. It's okay, Adana. It is not okay. You don't know these people. I know I can't hide from them. Raina looks at the 2 men. If Chairman Guk Tae-sung wanted to hurt me, he wouldn't send an invitation. He would just do it. The first man nods slightly. Respect, maybe. She is correct. The chairman does not waste courtesy on people he intends to harm. Adana's jaw tightens. If anything happens to her, nothing will happen to her. She will be returned within 2 hours. I have my word. Your word means nothing to me. Then take it as fact. Raina squeezes Adana's arm. I'll be fine. I'll call you when I'm out. You better. Adana's voice cracks. "You better call me, Raina." Raina follows the two men outside. A black car waits at the curb. The door opens. Raina gets in. The interior is leather and silence. The men sit in the front. They do not speak. The car pulls into traffic, and Seoul becomes a blur of lights outside the tinted windows. The car turns onto a private road. Trees line both sides. At the end, gates open automatically. Behind them, a compound rises. Traditional Korean architecture stretched to the size of a palace. Guards at every entrance, cameras on every corner. The car stops. The door opens. "This way, Miss Eze." She follows them through a courtyard, through hallways lined with art she cannot name, past staff who bow as they pass, but whose eyes follow her with curiosity. They stop at a door. One knock, a voice from inside. The door opens. The office is massive. Dark wood, high ceilings, a desk the size of a bed, and behind the desk, a man, Guk Tae-sung. He is younger than she expected, maybe 40, sharp-featured, still, like deep water is still, everything happening below the surface. He wears a simple black shirt, no jewelry, nothing announcing itself. He looks at her face, at the bruise, at the split lip. He studies her in silence. 1 minute, 2. She does not feel it. She meets his eyes and waits. "You defended my mother," he says finally. "Yes." "You did not know who she was." "No." "You blocked a strike. You returned one. You did not run." "No." "Why?"
"Because she was alone. Because 60 people were watching and none of them were moving. Because I have a mother too, and I would want someone to help her." Something moves behind his eyes. Not warmth, not anything close, but recognition of something unexpected. "You are not afraid of me," he says. "Should I be?" "Yes." No hesitation. Everyone is. "Maybe I haven't been here long enough to learn the right fears." He stands, walks around the desk, stops in front of her. "I do not forget debts," he says. "You put me in yours today. I am offering you my protection, permanent, unconditional. Anyone who touches you answers to me." He extends his hand. "Do you accept?" She looks at his hand, clean, steady, the hand of a man who has ordered deaths and signed things she will never see. She takes it. "I accept," she says. His grip is firm, brief. The conversation is over. She walks to the door, her hand on the frame. She stops. "The footage," she says. "How many times did you watch it?" A pause, long enough to be its own answer. "Good night, Miss Eze," he says. She walks out. The door closes behind her. She has no idea what she has just accepted. 3 days pass. Raina works. She serves. She smiles. Her bruise fades from purple to yellow-green. Her lip heals. Life continues as if nothing happened. But something has changed. She notices it first at the bus stop near her apartment. A man in a dark coat stands across the street, watching. When she moves, he moves. When she enters a store, he waits outside. He is not hiding. He wants her to see him. The second day, there are 2 of them. The third day, a woman joins them. Mid-30s, short hair, a scar across her left eyebrow. She follows Raina to the restaurant and takes a seat at the corner table and orders pepper soup and eats slowly, watching everything. On the 4th day, Raina has had enough. She walks directly to the woman's table during the lunch rush. "Who are you?" she says. The woman looks up, calm, unsurprised. "Han Soo-min, Chairman Gook assigned you to your security detail." "Security detail?" 3 rotating teams, 24-hour coverage, beginning the night of your meeting. She takes a sip of her soup. "You were not supposed to notice." "I notice everything." Han Soo-min almost smiles. "Yes, we noticed that about you." She sets down her spoon. "Chairman Gook wants you to know that Gong Min-suk has been dealt with. He will not bother you or anyone else again. Reina feels cold. Dealt with how? He is alive, but he will walk with a limp for the rest of his life. His family's business interests in Seoul have been dissolved. A pause. The chairman wanted you to know personally. Debts are paid in full. Reina sits down. Her legs feel weak. I didn't ask for this. No, but it happened anyway. Han Soo-min's voice softens slightly. That is what makes you different. In the chairman's entire life, no one outside his family has protected his mother without expecting something in return. She leans forward. You confused him. Powerful men do not enjoy confusion, but they remember it. The restaurant door opens. Reina looks up. Guk In-suk walks in. She looks different from the woman on the ground. Pale gray hanbok, elegant and simple, hair pinned up, face composed, but her eyes are the same, warm, watching, full of hope. Behind her, behind Director Yo, 2 guards at the door. Adana emerges from the kitchen. Her face cycles through shock, fear, and awe in 3 seconds. Guk In-suk walks directly to Reina, takes her hands, cold fingers, firm grip. I told you I would not forget, she says. You did. I came to see where you work, to see the place that raised someone brave enough to stand for a stranger. She looks around the restaurant, at the photos of Lagos on the walls, at the menu in English and Korean and Yoruba, at Adana frozen in the kitchen doorway. This is a good place. I can feel it. Thank you, Reina says. I want to ask you something, and I want the true answer, not the polite one. Okay. Why did you help me? The real reason. Reina looks at her, this woman who has survived decades in a world where trust is a weapon. She is asking for truth. Because she reminded me of my grandmother. The words come out before she can stop them. My grandmother raised me while my mother worked. Small, strong, never complained, carried everything for everyone, and never asked anything back. Reina's voice cracks. She died 2 years ago. I was here, in Seoul, working, sending money home. She died in a lone bed, and I wasn't there. Guk In-suk's eyes fill with tears. When I saw you on the ground, Reina continued, I saw her. I saw every old woman who ever carried too much and received too little. She pauses. I couldn't save mine, but I could help you. Silence settles over the table. Guk In-suk releases one of Reina's hands. She reaches up to touch Reina's face, the cheek that was bruised, now healing. You carry grief well, she says softly. You turn it into action instead of bitterness. That is the rarest kind of strength. She pauses. I would like to know you, Reina Eze, not as someone my son protects, as someone I choose. Choose for what? To be close to me, to visit me, to share meals. Her eyes are bright. I am old. My son is powerful, but he is not soft. My daughter-in-law is dead. My grandchildren are grown and distant. I have money and protection and everything the world says matters. She squeezes Reina's hand. But I am lonely. And you see me, not my son's power, me. Reina's hand finds her pocket, finds the orange still there. She's been carrying it for days without knowing why. I would like that, she says. I would like to know you too. Guk In-suk smiles. It transforms her entire face. Good, she says. Then you will come to dinner, tomorrow night, at my home. Your home? The compound, where my son lives. She tilts her head. Is that a problem? Reina thinks about it. No, it's not a problem. Good, she says. I will send a car at 7. At the door, leaving, Guk In-suk pauses. She looks back. Your grandmother, she says. What was her name? Ezine. It means good mother. Guk In-suk nods slowly. Something moves across her face. Then I will honor her memory, she says, by being good to you. She leaves. The restaurant is silent. Adana walks out of the kitchen.
She stands beside Raina. They both stare at the door. Well, Adana says, you are having dinner with the Korean Mafia tomorrow. Yes. In their home? Yes.
With the mother of a man who cripples people for insults?
Yes. Adana exhales heavily. Wear the blue dress, she says, and for God's sake, do not spill anything. The car arrives at exactly 7. Raina is wearing the only dress she owns. Deep blue, simple, bought 2 years ago for a cousin's wedding in Lagos. Adana helped her with her hair, twisting it into an updo that makes her look like someone who belongs in places like the one she is going to. You look like a queen, Adana said before she left. Remember that when you walk in there. The compound at night is different. Same gates, same guards, same cameras, but the lanterns are lit. The garden is visible, beautiful, a cage made of beauty. A young woman meets her at the door. Miss Eze, I am Johanna, Director Yo's niece. I will take you to the private dining room. Private, not the main hall, something smaller, chosen. The room is beautiful, low table, silk cushions, a window overlooking a moonlit garden where a small fountain catches silver light. Guk Insuk is already seated, dressed in soft ivory, her face brightening when Raina enters. You came, she says. You invited me. Many people are invited, not all of them are brave enough to come. The food comes in courses Raina cannot name, each one a small work of art, each one carrying a story Guk Insuk tells without being asked. This is from Jeju. This is my grandmother's recipe. This is what my husband ordered on our wedding night. She speaks of her husband like a wound that has scarred, but never fully closed. Died 15 years ago. Heart attack. No warning. She raised Taesung alone after that. Do you fear him? Raina asks. I fear for him, Guk Insuk says, for what this life costs him, for the parts of himself he has had to bury to survive. She pauses. But fear him? No. He is my son. I held him when he was small. I know the boy inside the man. Is the boy still there? Hidden, protected. She looks at Raina carefully. Why do you ask? Because when I met him, I saw nothing. His face, his voice, empty, like a man who decided feeling was too expensive and stopped paying. Guk Insuk sets down her chopsticks. My husband had a wife, she says. Minji, gentle, kind. She made him soft in ways I believed were permanent. Her voice drops. She was killed 3 years ago. A rival family. They wanted to hurt him and they took the one thing that made him human. Raina's chest tightens. After she died, he became what you saw in that office. The boy I raised, the one who laughed and loved and cried when his father died. He buried that boy the day he buried his wife. She reaches across and takes Raina's hand. I have been trying to reach him for 3 years. Nothing has worked. Why are you telling me this? Because of how he looked at you. Raina blinks. What? The security footage from the street. He watched it 7 times. He does not watch anything twice. He does not care enough to repeat. But you made him repeat. You made him curious. And curiosity in a man who has stopped feeling is not a small thing. The door opens. Guk Taesung walks in. Dark gray suit, traditional Korean collar. He looks different here, or maybe she is looking for something she wasn't looking for before. His eyes find her immediately and stay. You came, he says. Your mother invited me. She has spoken of nothing else for 3 days. He sits across from them, not at the head of the table, beside it, level, equal. He speaks little. He listens. He watches, and Raina notices his eyes return to her, not constantly, not obviously, but with the regularity of something involuntary, a compass needle finding north. Then he sets down his chi. The room changes. I need to tell you something, and I need you to hear it without reacting until I finish. Raina sets down her chopsticks. Gong Min Sok's father, Gong Jae-hun, he is not a man who accepts consequences. His son is crippled, his business is gone. In his mind, there is one person responsible. You. He looks at her directly. I didn't. I know what you did and did not do. He does not care about the distinction. Tae-sung's jaw tightens. He has placed a bounty on your head, 200 million won. Whoever delivers you to him alive collects. 200 million won, nearly 150,000 American dollars. Han Soo-min's team has intercepted 2 attempts in the past 48 hours, both traced to Gong's organization, both handled. You were not aware because you were supposed to simply be safe. 2 attempts, she says, while I was working, while I was sleeping. Yes. Raina thinks about her apartment, the mattress on the floor, the window she leaves cracked at night, how small and open and utterly undefended that room is. I need you to stay here, Tae-sung says, in the compound, until this is resolved. I have work. Your employer will be compensated. Your apartment will be monitored. Something moves through his voice, not quite emotion, but the ghost of it. I made you a promise. I do not break my promises. Guk In-suk reaches across the table, takes Raina's hand, says nothing. Her grip says everything. Okay, Raina says. I'll stay. Raina does not sleep. The room they give her is larger than her entire apartment. Silk sheets, heated floors, a window overlooking the moonlit garden. Beautiful, quiet, foreign. She sits on the edge of the bed and thinks about Gong Jae-hun, a man she has never met, who has decided she should suffer because she refused to look away. This is what courage costs. At midnight, her phone rings. Adana. She answers immediately. Raina? The voice is wrong, tight, afraid. They came to the restaurant. Everything in Raina goes cold. Who? 4 men. Guns. They asked where you were. I told them I didn't know. Her voice breaks. They burned it down, Raina. They burned Mama Kitchen to the ground. The phone nearly slips from her hand. Are you hurt? I got out the back. I'm at the police station. But the restaurant, everything, 15 years. I'm coming. No, Adana's voice is sharp. That's what they want. You come here, they find you. You stay where you are, you let these people protect you, and when this is over, her voice drops to something fierce. We rebuild. You hear me? We rebuild. The line goes dead. Raina sits with the phone in her hand. 15 years. The photographs of Lagos on the walls, the menu in 3 languages, the smell of home. Gone. Because she stopped on a Tuesday afternoon when 60 other people kept walking. She goes to find Tae-sung. He's in his office, still dressed. He looks up when she appears in the doorway and reads her face in 1 second. She tells him every word, the men, the guns, Adana running out the back while everything she built turned to ash. When he finishes, his face has changed completely. The emptiness is gone. In its place is something cold, ancient, absolute. Gong Jae-hun, he says. Yes. He picks up his phone. 3 messages in under a minute. What are you doing? Ending this. I want to be there, she says, when you end it.
He looks at her. He burned my friend's life to the ground because I helped your mother. Her voice is steady, but her eyes are not. I need him to see my face. I need to be a person to him, not a target. A long moment. Stay behind me, he says. Do not speak until I tell you. The warehouse is in the Port District. Industrial lights cast harsh shadows. In the center, tied to a chair, a man in his 60s, gray hair, expensive suit, now ruined, blood on his face. Gong Jae-hyun. Around him, Tae-sung's men, Director Yo with her face impassive, and beside her, someone Raina did not expect. Guk In-suk. Simple clothes, hands clasped, eyes carrying something ancient and dangerous. Mother, Tae-sung says, you should not be here. I go where I choose. She looks at Gong Jae-hyun with eyes that have gone very still. This man tried to hurt the woman who saved me. I wanted him to see my face when he learns what that cost him. Gong looks up, defiant. You think this ends anything? He spits. I have allies. I have people who will...
Your allies received calls an hour ago, Taesung says flatly. Everyone has withdrawn. Your accounts are frozen. Your businesses seized. You have nothing. Then kill me. Be done with it. Death would be mercy. You do not deserve mercy. Taesung turns to Raina. This is your moment. What happens to him is yours to decide. The warehouse goes silent. Raina looks at Gong Jae-hyun, the man who put a price on her head, who burned Adana's life to the ground. She thinks about Lagos, about what power really means. I don't want him dead, she says. Gong laughs bitterly. Weak. I want him to live. She steps closer. I want him to live knowing he lost everything because he couldn't accept that his son was punished for cruelty. I want him to spend every morning remembering that a Nigerian woman he tried to destroy stood in this warehouse and chose to spare him. She pauses. I want that to eat you from the inside, every single day. Silence. Guk In-suk closes her eyes briefly. When she opens them, pride blooms in her face. Taesung looks at Raina with something she has not seen on him before. Unguarded, real. You heard her, he says to his men. He lives, he loses everything else. They drag Gong Jae-hyun away. The warehouse empties slowly. Guk In-suk approaches Raina, takes her hands. Rebuild the restaurant, whatever it costs. Consider it done. Then she is gone. Taesung stands beside Raina in the silence. Stay, he says. What? In Seoul. In my protection, beyond tonight. He pauses. I am not asking because of debt. I am asking because you are the first person in 3 years who has made me feel like the world contains something worth paying attention to. Another pause. I am not asking for anything. I am simply asking you not to disappear. Raina's hand finds her pocket, finds the orange still there, bruised, whole, still here. I'll stay, she says, for now. For now, he repeats, almost smiling. Don't push your luck, Chairman Guk. I never push luck. I wait for what I want. And what do you want? He looks at her for a long moment. I'm still figuring that out, he says, but I think it begins with you. Director Yo appears at Taesung's shoulder. Her face has changed, paler, her phone held tight. Chairman, we have a problem. What problem? Gong Jae-hyun was not working alone. His partner has just made contact. They're demanding a meeting, and they want Reina Eze delivered within 48 hours. Who? Raina asks. Who is the partner? Director Yo looks at her, the look of someone about to change the shape of everything. Someone from Lagos, she says. Someone who claims to have known you your entire life. She holds out the phone. Raina takes it. She reads the name on the screen. The warehouse, the orange, the almost smile, all of it recedes. Everything recedes to a single point of cold clarity, because the name on the screen is not a stranger. It is her father, the man who left Lagos when she was 6, who sent money twice and then stopped, who existed for 20 years as a silence shaped like a person. Her father, alive, connected to Gong Jae-hyun, connected to a bounty on her head. Not a coincidence. Nothing about this is a coincidence. She hands the phone back to Director Yo. Her hand is steady. The orange is still in her pocket. She touches it one more time. The bruised and unbroken thing she has carried for days without knowing why. Now she knows. She was keeping it for this, for the moment everything she thought she outran comes back walking wearing her father's name. Tell me everything you know about him, she says. Her voice is quiet, absolute. Everything. And then we plan. Taesung looks at her. Then he nods, and the door opens and they go inside. Reina Eze has been keeping herself for 20 years. She is done keeping herself small. If this story gripped your soul and refused to let go, you need to subscribe right now. Hit the like button, turn on notifications, because Reina's past has just collided with her present. Her father, the man who abandoned her 20 years ago, wants her back. Why? What does he know? What does he want? The answers are coming, but only if you stay. Subscribe. Share this with someone who needs fire today.
and hold on tight. Reina Eze's story is far from over.